You know, after the heartbreak of seeing the Boston Celtics lose in Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals in the NBA side, I could use a palate cleanser. And man, did this really get the job done. Dream win 83 to 65 over the Chicago Sky. Let's talk about it. Now, the last time we saw the Dream, they played well enough to beat the Fever, but the Fever just had an answer for everything. They kept it close and they just snatched it away at the end. Parker, Gray, and Howard were absolutely the MVPs for the Dream, and they will need to be again if they're going to beat the Sky. Courtney Williams and Elizabeth Williams starting for the Sky. Good to see them again. Well, for the most part, anyway. Danielle Robinson still out with a knee injury, but still supporting her team from the sidelines. Same starting lineup for the Dream as the last time. I definitely approve of this. But what I don't approve of is the color rush. Cut it the hell out, WNBA. And Dream Arena staff, if you're going to play the White Tees song, make sure the Dream are actually, wearing white jerseys. Just saying. Elizabeth Williams draws first blood for the Sky very early on, and Alicia Gray follows up immediately after. Ari McDonald takes a defensive rebound and just hauls ass to the rim for another quick two. I like Atlanta's strategy early on in this game. As soon as they get the ball in Chicago's zone, they just gun it to their own zone, not giving the Sky any time to set up their defense. The Dream aren't scoring much at this point, but they are getting shooting chances, and they're just not giving Chicago any time to react. They're also not letting their offense do anything. Atlanta goes on an 8-0 run, all 8 points from within the paint, and the Sky didn't score on 10 possessions. It took until their 11th possession during that run to finally sink something. And they really wouldn't get much farther this quarter. The Dream led by as much as 10 with just over a minute left. Monique Billings is pulling double duty on both sides of the court. Her defensive work is stopping a lot of Chicago chances from going in, and she's scoring from all angles. Some good news for the Chicago Sky, though. Robin Parks scored her first career points, a three-pointer. So, hey, welcome to the league, Robin Parks. The first quarter ends with Atlanta leading 19-13. There's a lot to like here. Chicago is out-rebounding Atlanta by 5, and the Dream were 8-20 on field goals, but the Sky were 6-21, so they were slightly less good. It's still an advantage, but the real takeaway from this, that entire quarter, Atlanta had 0 turnovers. Chicago had 6, and Atlanta had absolutely none. You love to see this. Turnovers have been a big problem for Atlanta for a couple of seasons now, and when it actually goes their way, this is the result. Naz Hillman plays cleanup, getting a second chance two-pointer to start the second. Ryan Howard shows her footwork getting out of one-on-one coverage for a fadeaway two-pointer. I tell you, with footwork like that, she would make an excellent wide receiver for the Atlanta Falcons in another life, wouldn't she? 4.5 minutes into the second, the Dream commit their first turnover of the game, leading to a 2 by the WNBA's leading bench scorer, Dana Evans. Chicago is covering the hell out of Atlanta's offense, but they're just not stopping them. Cheyenne Parker is absolutely killing it on both sides of the court. Whatever was stopping her last time out, it ain't happening anymore. Chicago is just not being allowed to do anything. Their top 3 are being absolutely smothered. I didn't take a whole lot of notes for the second quarter, although I probably could have, but whatever. It's 40-25 after 2. Dreams still lead. Marina Mabry gets a 3 to start the scoring in the third. She just found a gap in coverage right afterwards for a 2. Chicago's going to need a lot more of that if they want to compete tonight. And then Kalia Copper hits a 3 right after. Suddenly I'm getting a little bit worried. Oh, wait, never mind. Ryan Howard got a 3 right after. I feel better now. Or at least I would if Copper didn't get another 2 immediately after. Fortunately, shortly after this, the Dream finally remembered how defense works, and Gray was able to make a quick run to the rim for a layup. Howard gets another quick 2, and just when it looks like the Sky are about to answer again, there's Nia Coffey reminding us why she's one of the best blockers in the entire WNBA. Chicago gets a 5-second violation and turns the ball over yet again. Chicago is getting a little closer to closing the gap, but Atlanta isn't really letting them by easily. Naz Hillman makes a long quarterback pass to Alicia Gray, overextends, but Gray somehow gets it, although not enough to make a shot, so she just throws it right back to Hillman, who might have made the 2 if Courtney Williams hadn't fouled her, but Hillman sank both free throws anyway. Hey, now, Hailey Jones has been having a fantastic game. She has 6 points in this stage of the game, including a beautiful layup, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 hell of a block, which was originally a defensive foul, but it was overturned through a coach's challenge. Maybe she's not as electric of a rookie as Ryan Howard was, but she is doing everything that she is supposed to and more. She's looking like a future starter. After 3 quarters, it is 67-49 Atlanta Dream lead. And once again, to open the fourth, Marina Mabry opens the scoring with a 3. And maybe the rest of the quarter can go the same way because of that. Now, the Dream's extra passing gave them 2 turnovers in a minute or two, but the Dream's 7th turnover all game long, though. And at least now we know there are no ball hogs on this team. Just this entire team is just scoring one right after the other. Howard, McDonald, Jones, Jones again. Jones had a 3-pointer and a 2-pointer consecutively. Lorello Kubaya is getting rebounds. This is just a complete team effort. And the fans are clearly having a good time. Especially this little John lookalike. I love when fans do silly stuff like this. Fans of all teams and all sports should do stuff like this. Goofy sports are the best. Dream win 83-65. 4 players had double-digit points. That was Howard, Gray, Parker, and Jones. More on Jones in just a minute here. The total turnovers were 9 and 15. You see what happens when the Dream don't lead in turnovers. Ryan Howard had 20 points, 4 rebounds, and a steal. Naz Hillman became the 11th player in WNBA history and the first in Atlanta Dream history to earn 4+ points, 3+ rebounds, 2+ steals in under 15 minutes. Basketball writer Mark Schindler says, "This has been a really solid game for Hailey Jones. Feels more settled in and in rhythm, which has been awesome to see. It takes time to get comfortable, especially as a guard getting accustomed to professional length and speed, something Tanisha Wright talked about pre-game." Thanks to her and pretty much everybody else on this team, the Dream are back to 500, but they're going to have one hell of a challenge ahead as they take on a 4-0 Las Vegas Aces team this Friday on ION TV. It's going to be crazy. I have no idea what happens, but hopefully I'll see you then.